What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with one of our favorites. It's Aaron Pico from Bellator. He's a featherweight who's got a big fight coming up on the 23rd of September. And we're getting close to this, Aaron. We're winding down here. These are the hard workouts right now, right? The hardest sparring you'll get before you start tapering?
Honestly, it's kind of the opposite for me. Usually, like 1 month out, I'm kind of like on the wind down because I go pretty hard before. But now I have a few more sparring sessions and just fine tuning some things. And September 23rd will be here really quick. So, but I feel good. I feel good and healthy and ready to go.
Do you remember your hardest sparring session from this camp?
You know what? I have some pretty good sparring partners. One of the guys that I use a lot, his name's Isaiah. He fights in Bellator. He's at 145. He can push the pace pretty good, and he's always pretty tough rounds for me. But I had a guy come down from Brazil. His name's Leon Douglas, and he pushed me hard. Yeah, I've had good sparring. But the most important thing is my body's healthy, so I'm happy about that.
Now, this is probably a question where you have to put your ego aside. But what if we were to ask those two, what's it like sparring with Pico? I mean, are you pretty much putting them through hell too?
Yeah, I set a good pace in sparring. I kind of I go hard. I go pretty hard, to be honest with you, and I put a good pace on because you got to simulate the fight as much as you possibly can, especially with the fast punches, the kicks, and the wrestling. And but no, we take care of each other. But I go pretty hard, to be honest with you.
When's the last time you put someone down with a body shot in practice?
Last sparring session, but it wasn't Isaiah. It wasn't Isaiah. It wasn't my good friend, the guy from Brazil. Isaiah is, like I said, Isaiah Huckett. He's very, very good, very tough, good wrestler, and has a gas tank. So he pushes me really, really good, and he's southpaw, so that works out good. And like I said, he fights at 145 in Bellator. I believe he's 4-1, and I can't thank him enough. He's a guy that just doesn't complain. He just goes. You know, I have to be ready too because I mean he punches hard, he wrestles, he kicks, and it's good for both of us.
So Pedro Carvalho's been in the game for a minute now, and that's always good when you face someone who's not only tough but also a recognizable name for the fans, the promotion. But at the same time, I feel like, and I honestly know how this fight went, the one with Jeremy Kennedy. I don't want to bring back that, but it seems like he's really the only one in the way of a title shot for you, right? Once Pitbull comes back healthy, is that how you're looking at it?
Yeah, that's a fight that I really want to get back. I mean, the fans clearly know that I wasn't right in the fight, and obviously I had surgery and everything went well. But yeah, I'm not putting any, expectation on the future right now. I just really want to focus on Pedro, and I know I'm not going to put any emotional value on the title. The title will come when it's time. But I have a tough guy in front of me, especially going to his backyard, fighting with the Irish fans, and it's something that's new for me, being in a hostile environment. I don't know if the fans are going to be on my side. I'm assuming they're going to be on his, but it's something that I need to get used to. All the greats have gone to enemy territory and fought, so it's just part of my development, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's right. He's a Portuguese who trains at SVG. So yeah, you're right. It is going to be kind of a home game. And speaking of home game, it would have been nice instead of $299 to have you on Bellator 300 right down that 5 freeway. Oh wait, that's right. You're not in SoCal anymore. But either way, you know, you have to travel about 10 hours to get to this destination. Yeah. But do you like maybe those fights where you're isolated and less distracted, or would it have been nice to fight near a lot of family and friends where you grew up?
Yeah, I honestly like fighting away. To be honest with you, it's just a lot less distractions. But of course, it's nice for my family and friends. They all get to go. But it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I gotta fight. So this was the card that they presented. I said it was presented a while back. So I've been aiming at this date for a long time. And yeah, it is what it is. But of course, it'd be nice to fight in San Diego. I've never fought there. But maybe I'll go. I'll be in attendance and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And when you look at Pedro and you do your homework, which I'm positive you've already done, did anything really stand out? Is he any trickier than anybody else you've ever faced before in any way?
No, I think he's pretty straightforward. He's southpaw. He switches orthodox as well. Looks for a lot of guillotines and left body kicks. And I think I have fought a lot. I've fought better strikers, but this game is crazy. And with the 4-ounce gloves and this crazy sport, anything could happen. But we've really studied him, and I'm really excited for this one. I think it's a good style matchup for me, so I can't wait.
What do you think will be some of the things that are going through your head as the introduction's being made and all that, and you're pacing back and forth? What are those last second details that run through your head?
Well, I think for me, this fight, I really got to focus on my breathing and just know when that bell rings, everything goes away, the nerves and the sound of the crowd. I mean, I'm really just kind of focused on him. And I think if I just focus on my breathing and not really thinking about anything, that's kind of the secret is being able to calm your mind and basically have zero thoughts. So it's easier said than done. But for me, this fight camp and I've been focusing on my breathing and kind of mental aspect of the game. I have everything I need to become a world champion. I truly believe that. I have the best coaches. I have the skill set. But now it's just, be sharp mentally and something I've been working on. So I'm excited to go in there and put it to test.
And we've always known you. We've actually used you as an example of what up-and-coming fighters how they should conduct themselves. Yeah. We've always known you to be very, very professional. But along the way, you've kind of done some really cool things, and you're about to do another one. Are you able to kind of disconnect a little bit and ever just like kind of peek behind the curtain and go, man, this is actually pretty badass, like what I'm doing, and actually fun, kind of like a kid at a party or something, does that ever cross your mind for a couple seconds, or is it all business?
That's honestly something I think I need to work on. I'm constant. I kind of tend to overthink a little bit, and I'm always searching for the future and what's it going to be like. And I got to take a step back and enjoy what I've been doing, because a lot of the experiences that I've had in life, not just in fighting, just in fighting and the people I've met and my friends around the world, I have some really cool stories, and I'm very thankful for that. And I need to sit back and enjoy it and think of the good times that I've had and the good times that I'm going to have. But to answer your question, I need to do it more. I don't do it enough.
Gotcha.
Aaron, a lot of people would probably rate your wrestling on a scale of 1 to 10, a 10. Your boxing's up there as well. I mean, you boxed for a long time. And but I wanted to ask you, if you had to self-grade yourself on let's say your Muay Thai and your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and there's a lot of martial arts, but we'll just focus on those two. Where would you say those are in terms of trying to match the other two that you're really sharp in?
Well, if I had to do my jiu-jitsu, I mean, in MMA, I think I'm up there. It's a whole different beast fighting and on the ground, especially when you can land elbows and it just changes the game. But just straight jiu-jitsu, I believe I'm really good. I've gone with some high-level guys, and I've tapped some guys out, but I can't really say that because I haven't competed on that level. It would be nice to test myself, and maybe it's something I should consider. But I believe my MMA or my jiu-jitsu is great, to be honest with you. It's very good. My Muay Thai is my kickboxing is I really worked on at this camp, and be prepared to see a lot of kicks, and it needs some work, but I feel confident in letting my kicks go. So I feel pretty confident with it. Am I Muay Thai world champion? I mean, it'd be hard, but I mean, as far as my hands and that's the thing that I think that sets me apart, is my hands are really good. So to be able, I can kind of how do I say it? I don't have to be so perfect in the kick department because my hands kind of set my kicks up really, really well. So, but I love Muay Thai, kickboxing. It's something that I watch a lot. I study it, and it's one of the hardest sports in the world. And I don't think people realize that those guys in Muay Thai and kickboxing, to be able to just kick for 3 to 5 rounds, that takes a toll on the body. And the guys in Thailand will fight, I don't know how many times a year. It's really, really crazy to me. Sometimes I kick a knee and my foot's hurt for my foot feels sore for about 3 weeks. So I'm like, I don't know how they get back in it, but they're just conditioned. I have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, there's so many parts of a fight where you can be sneaky, and I see a lot of top-notch fighters taking advantage, like you're clinching against the fence, and a lot of times maybe just over-unders, right? Whether it's you're the one trying to defend or you're the one trying to initiate, and maybe it's just not there, and then there's that little break and someone sneaks in an elbow. Man, I think there's a beauty in that to me, like and I'm seeing more and more of that, like people taking advantage of opportunities like that, or maybe even a finishing sequence. Someone's maybe on the way down or something, and boom, rather than use your hands, you sneak a knee right up the middle, and you just crush somebody that way. And I guess, what really spurned that question was the other day, McGregor got his black belt. And I just wondered, I wonder where guys like, for example, you, that we interviewed Dan Ige earlier. I should have asked him that, but that's what I was just curious, was like, maybe some of these guys are further along than we know. And a guy that you obviously know of, everyone does, John Jones. How about the Cyril Gane fight? He goes in there, and he even said he wasn't comfortable with his striking early in the fight, but then the opportunity to body lock comes in, and next thing you know, they're on the ground. He sees the neck and snatches it, and job's done. He's the world champ at heavyweight, and I guess that's why I was asking. I was just curious to see if those opportunities come up, are you ready to pounce on them, or are, like I say, are you more back to ground and pounding someone, or just using the hands?
Yeah, that's a good question. To be honest with you, I love to ground and pound, but if the submission is there, I would rather take the submission than a ground and pound, because it saves your elbows, it saves your hands, and you'll be ready to go for in relatively short time to fight again. But that's the thing about MMA, and it makes it so intriguing, is that it can be John Jones can be a purple belt, and then he's tapped out how many black belts. I mean, you can land a few elbows on some guys and threaten them. Submissions are usually there. So that's why I believe in grappling and jiu-jitsu tournaments is a whole different ball game to MMA jiu-jitsu and stuff. And you hear that all the time, but it's something that, I mean, the level of grappling is just through the roof right now. And you see so many young guys coming up, and I'm talking about just as a sport in grappling. It's quite crazy to see, to be honest with you, but I don't know. It's this MMA game is very, very hard, and not many people can do it.
One last thing for me, and then I think Goes has one last one. On the 26th of September, you turn 27, I turn 54, so I'll be double your age for one day.
I don't know why people think that. I'm actually fighting on my birthday. September 23rd is my birthday.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that's my birthday.
That's his birthday.
That's September 23rd.
So your birthday's not the 26th?
No, it's the 23rd. I don't know why. A lot of people tell me that, like my birthday will pass, and then people will text me, happy birthday. I'm like, oh, it was the 23rd. But thank you. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was the 26th. So it's all good. You're not the first person to say that.
But you miss out on this fun fact, and this fun fact is my birthday, which I thought it was going to be our birthday, but since you're with Goes now, my birthday is the most common birthday in the world. More people were born on the 26th than any other day on the calendar, and that's the truth, Ruth.
My dad's is the 27th, so I'm the 23rd. My dad's the 27th.
Yeah, I like your dad. I met him once in LA at the Forum. He was wearing a suit. He's well put together too, man. He looks like an intense cat, but he's a nice fella.
He's nice. Yeah, I love him. My dad helps me out a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. He's the best.
He's going to Ireland with you, or?
Yeah, he is going to Ireland with me.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
really excited about it. Yeah, he hasn't been to a fight, and I think he hasn't been to like the last 3 or something like that. So, because he's always here taking care of, my horses and dogs and things like that. And usually when I fight, my mom will come and stay in Albuquerque with my dad and help him take care of the horses and spend some time with him. So I'm excited. My dad's going to go out there, and it's like old times. I traveled the world with my dad. He used to go to all my wrestling tournaments around the world, and we haven't done that in a long time. So I'm excited for it, and it's going to be a great week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
All right, dude. I am going to give you a little bit of a homework assignment, and it involves your horses. Okay.
Yeah.
Canelo the horse. You're talking about, I don't know if you guys have ever, I assume Aaron's seen this, and George, you've probably seen this at some point. When a horse kicks somebody, dude, they go flying. And Aaron, you said you're working on your kicks. If you can perfect that spinning back kick to the liver, we got to call that the Canelo kick.
The Canelo
That's
kick.
your homework assignment for the rest of 2023. If you hit someone with the Canelo kick, dude, that's going to be awesome.
That would be a great knockout, spinning back kick. You know what? I have a really good spinning back kick, to be honest with you, on the pads and things like that. It's good, but it's different in a fight. It's really hard to get the timing down and to make sure that he's in the right spot to hit it. It's a powerful kick, but also a very hard kick to land. But I can do it pretty good on the pad. I look good with the spinning back kick on the pad. I don't know if I have enough huevos to do it in a fight yet. I have a funny story. I had my against who was it? Justin Gonzalez. Not the last fight. It was the last like 30 seconds. I threw a spinning heel kick at him, and it was absolutely terrible. And I threw it 2 times, and I could hear Greg in the corner like just yelling at me like, "Why are you like?" He was pissed that I threw it. I was like, "Well, I was just having fun." But he's like, "Well, before you throw it, your ass better work on it." So.
Have you ever been kicked by a horse, by the way?
Knock on wood. No, I haven't.
Okay.
No,
I've been stepped on by a horse before. I got stepped on by a pony one time.
Yeah.
And he won't believe me because I told him that was like one of my top 5 worst pains ever in my life. For some reason, it felt like my foot was just gonna like flatten completely. And that was a pony, so I can't imagine what a horse weighs. But have you ever been stepped on?
I've been stepped on, but I had like boots, so it wasn't too bad. But it hurt, obviously. But I'm pretty careful around horses. That's the thing people don't realize. Is like you gotta respect them and know where you're at. And it's not kind of like when I get on a horse. I respect it. It's not like a game. I really try to ride the right way and do the right things because. In my line of work, if you get hurt and you can't fight, you can't make money. So I'm really cautious about, what I'm doing. Not overboard where I'm like just on pins and needles, but I respect them. They're big, especially my horses, and but it's fun. It's my passion. I love it, and I can't imagine my life without them.
Do you watch Yellowstone, the TV show?
I did. Yeah. I loved it. I liked Yellowstone a lot.
So when you see the Dutton Ranch and what they do, is that too far-fetched for something that you would like, or do you like kind of what you have, just a few horses or whatever?
Yeah, no, I really want a ranch one day and learn to breed horses, like have a breed of horses and have a full-on ranch. That's a goal of mine. I tell people, the big reason why I fight for 2 things. I fight for my son, and I fight for horses. That's what I want to do when I'm retired, is be around them, and that's why I'm not afraid to. I work so hard because if anybody knows me, they know I love my son and I love my horses. And I have a job to do. So I tell people I'm willing to do whatever. I'm willing to do what I'm willing to do. To a human being inside that cage for those 2 things is pretty barbaric, but it is what it is, and that's the line of work I am, is to beat people up and hurt them badly. It is what it is. We don't. Our job isn't. We don't eat pizza after, and everybody sings Kumbaya. We go in there and when I wake up in the morning, I train to hurt other men as bad as possible, and there's no way around it. People look at me, oh, you're nice and stuff like that, but I really want to hurt you, you know, inside that cage.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to it. Right about the time Goes is having his birthday breakfast, you'll be fighting. So, folks, it is a early start time for us here on the West Coast because of the time difference. They're out in Dublin, Ireland, and all the fights start at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, as we progress to the card and get to Pico versus Carvalho. That's the co-main event at Bellator 299. The main event that night will be the title fight between Johnny Eblen as he defends his Bellator middleweight championship versus Fabian Edwards. Mads Barnell versus Daniel Weichel. Sarah Collins versus Sinead Cavanaugh. Also on the card. You should tune in. And again, Showtime and YouTube for Bellator have got you covered. And thank you, Aaron, for your time. As always, it's always a fun chat with you, man.
No, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. This has kind of been a routine. You know, before every fight, we check in, and it's been going well. So let's keep the streak going. And like I said, it's a pleasure talking to you guys.
You too. And if you notice, this time I didn't bring up Mater Dei and St. John Bosco because the last time we played, you guys beat us. So I've been kind of quiet on that one. But there's a new season. Good. We'll see how the season goes.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Take care, man.
All right, guys. Have a good one.